extending the season to 10 teams as well, and it's like
Oh, yeah.
a lot of these guys like would fit in.
You are looking, when you're watching the Challenger Series, you're looking at least 2 teams that will be in the LCS next season.
Probably, yeah.
Most likely.
I don't know what the format's going to be necessarily. It's still a discussion, right? But like, yeah, I mean, these guys are really freaking good, and you know, even without being in the LCS and getting to play like the same sort of scheduled matches, like these guys scrim, they play their solo queue, and they know what the heck's going on. So I'm impressed with these teams. I want to see more of them. We're going to right here. Game 2 underfoot. No surprise for anyone. They banned Yuki's Kog'Maw.
Yep, didn't want to have to deal with that again. And I was actually thinking about this a second ago. That's why I chuckled to myself. It's like, I just imagine the EU logo coming in. It's like, welcome to the EU Challenger Series. Good luck to everyone. Because damn. that's just it. That is like the tag phrase of the EU Challenger Series.
Damn. Well, it's going to be scary, man. There's a lot of good teams here. Even though you got like unthreatening team names like playing Ducks.
Aww. No, Ducks are kind of vicious, though.
Really?
Ducks are very vicious.
I've never been attacked by one.
There's a YouTube video, the truth
about ducks.
True facts about ducks. Don't watch it, because I'm not recommending you watch it. Go watch it. Don't.
All right. Well, Plague Ducks, they get to at least make a few more adaptations here. So here's the interesting thing. They didn't have to ban Kassadin, so they got to add the Kog'Maw ban. The rest are the same. First pick Lucian comes in. That was, yeah, I mean, it's best he can get. His Jinx is still gone. The Zig's still gone away from Avenue. They had to add the Kassadin ban, but it does free up that one extra champion now.
Yep. Looks like Lucian, first pick for Shantou, getting the lane bully again.
And it's interesting the priorities, because Gamers2 first picked Gragas and said, this is what we want. Plague Ducks said, Lucian Thresh then. Now here, with the role swap, Plague Ducks is still going for Lucian. They don't care enough about the Gragas, so does G2 realize that they don't have to rush that either? Do they steal the Thresh? Were they happy with the Morgana? Do they need a different... I mean, they do need a different bottle than pick Kog'Maw's ban, but what do you go to now?
Caitlyn. You could also go to the Tristana, but I don't think they're going to pick it for a while. They're going to have to wait off on that. Twitch was also his go-to before, but... all right.
Okay.
They could go for it, damn.
I like the Thresh steal.
Good luck guessing picks, because damn.
Because damn. These guys going wild. So still there are junglers available. Elise, Evelyn were played last time, and Playing Ducks could go for a similar composition. Thing to keep in mind is Thresh Tristana is a pretty good laning phase overall. Getting around that can be quite difficult, so I want to know what they pair him with. Also, I want to see how the teams actually come together, because right now Gamers2 have nothing different from last time. It's like, hey, this support's pretty defensive, can make plays, and by the way, be careful of Yuki in the late game. Now, that was enough for Gamers2 last time, and they played around the rest of the map pretty well, but the big thing is how they play around what else shows up here. G2 has the chance to counterpick a solo lane finally on the red side.
I do want to see what Rydell does with Thresh. It's most played, and we were watching his Morgana bindings, and they were right on point all game long. Now his Thresh hooks, I want to see how those come out in the late game, because he was just weaving bindings through people. It was funny, because somebody would get cocooned, or they would get knocked away by Syndra, and he'd still land a binding on them in their new position.
Yeah. Well, with Cocoon, it's pretty easy. They stay in the same spot.
Yeah, well, they were just getting knocked away just a tiny bit. Or displaced by a barrel a couple times.
Right. No, absolutely. And I'm absolutely incredibly impressed by Rydell. We asked how good he was going to be when he joined the roster, replacing Dude, and so far, I like him. The Gragas does come through for Prothanos. These guys playing a couple of different games with what's important here, and the Gragas... the Morgana comes across, so the support switch sides, the top laners might switch sides. JWoww is a big Aurelia player himself. Like, we get to see a bunch of mirrors this game.
Yeah, they're just swapping hands. Only thing is the Kog'Maw's different. Now it's a Tristana. Hyper late game carry, again.
Why not?
So it's another thing you have to deal with. It's like 6 1/2 dozen another for them. Except for that.
Nope, that is not Aurelia. That is an Aatrox, so JWoww will switch his pace up a little bit. Wasn't forced to pick a different matchup. He could have fought the Aurelia Gragas. Didn't want to, though. So whereas Prothana opted into Aurelia vs Gragas, it's actually JWoww opting into Aatrox versus Gragas. We'll see how this matchup plays out.
It's actually a pretty decent matchup. Aatrox can hold his own. And then later on, they're both kind of not as powerful. They aren't like huge, just I'm going to decimate the entire team. They're more just assistance type top laners.
They're tanky, get in there, provide your utility things. The one thing I do like about Gragas vs Aatrox as the Gragas, though, is it's really, really easy to stop Dark Flight.
Yes.
And that is actually a bit of a risk then, is you have a pretty good gank assistance to stop Aatrox's escape moves. And here we go, new comp for playing Ducks. They're going to go for Yasuo on Avenue, plus another knockup coming in for the jungle role. So he said, hey, we got Gragas. Hey, we're going to get Jarvan as well. Let's go for the Yasuo comp.
Yeah, they used to do things like Yasuo Lulu top. Now they're going to do Yasuo Gragas. And Avenue's Yasuo is really good. We saw it previously. It was 4-1-3 last time he played it with 7 KDA. And they kind of won that game off of his back. Like I keep saying, he's the rock of the team and Shantou is the carry.
Yeah.
Shantou didn't really build carry items last game, or he didn't go straight for them. He got a little defensive in his build.
I mean, the Fizz build.
Yeah. Avenue, though, he just went full damage, trying to decimate people.
Yeah. Sorry.
He is the constant rock of the team. He's the most consistent player on that team, I would say. So him on Yasuo gives them a really good comeback mechanic if they do falter in the early game.
Yeah, sorry, I heard Shantou and was like, that was the mid laner. No. Yeah, that was weird that he went for the defensive build, the defensive item third here. But new matchup coming through. Ryze versus Yasuo going to be the mid lane matchup for Ocelot here. I actually do like Ryze a fair bit. Yeah, I like Rune Prison to stop the dash. You have to get the outplays going in, though. Basically, you've got this little mini game of Wind Wall comes out, you got to walk past it, and then if you're really good as Yasuo, you dash through him and get back on the inside of Wind Wall.
Well, what you end up doing is the wall comes out,
yeah.
You Rune Prison him because it goes through, and then you walk around it while you're throwing a spell. Like, it's just, because even if he dashes at you, if you walk around it instead of through it, he won't be able to reposition himself to the other side of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, he does a lot of damage, and the fact that Wind Wall's cooldown doesn't really coincide with any of the cooldowns of Ryze because they're all so damn short.
Yep.
He'll be able to throw about three of his Qs at you, 2 of his Es. By the time that your Wind Wall is back up, he'll be able to root you down again as well.
Yeah, we'll have to see how this plays out. And then Avenue, of course, can manage his shield duration. So, bunch of AoE, Wombo team for the Yasuo on one side. Meanwhile, on the other, for Gamers2, it's really very individualistic. It's just like, hey, we've got a lot of damage threats, so deal with it, right? Aatrox, Elise, Ryze, Tristana, Thresh, they're all very sort of one-on-one type champions. Thresh, I mean, he's a pretty good team fighter. Like, the box, he's got an AoE shield and his W. Like, those are pretty decent. But, like, just kind of down the line, it's like, hey, I'm good by myself. Hopefully we've got a supporting cast. And I think there's, like, enough carries there where it's just like, if G2 gets a gold lead, I just feel like you can't fight them anymore.
Yeah, and I don't blame them for this composition because last game was an hour long, and you can't help but think maybe we shouldn't have been team fighting the entire time. Maybe they're just sick of team fights for the entire day. An hour-long game of team fights, let's just, no, we're done.
Put the walls up, hour-long of laning now.
Split pushing, laning might work out a little better for them. We'll have to see. Tristana just knocks buildings down in the late game.
She does.
So you have to kind of, if you're playing Ducks, think about how do I get to the Tristana. We don't have the same flanking that we did last time from Satane. Maybe he'll still try it on his new champion that he whipped out instead of Evelyn. I don't know which it was. What was it? It was
Jarvan.
It's Jarvan, that's right. Yeah, you can still do that. You can still get to her. But see if you can knock her up. That's going to be a big thing.
That is difficult.
Can he set up his Gragas and his Yasuo?
The thing is, he's facing a Thresh. And Thresh is pretty darn good at stuffing Jarvan engages. So it's going to be a real test for these guys. Game 1 was an hour long. Gamers2 looking to make it a 2-0 here if they can clinch this one.
TP. TP on the Ocelot.
Cool. So a lot of counter ganks available.
Yeah, looking for the counter ganks, looking for the roam here. That's the thing about Ryze is he's not a very good split pusher. I would actually argue he's the worst split pusher in the game because you build mana, and mana doesn't give you anything against turrets.
Nope.
Even AP champions get extra damage against turrets.
I mean, at least he builds Archangel, so there's like
some.
It kind of does give him damage to turrets when he buys mana just because of the unique passive.
Yeah.
I actually like TP on Ocelot, not just because it'll help him fight Avenue, but what I think will happen is playing Ducks will send Avenue to split push this game. I think they will make that adaptation. And Ocelot, I think late game can handle the matchup and then TP into his team. Like, he'll just play defensively in like the one-on-one and hold up, and then his team can make plays. Ocelot can join with the TP, and you've got 5-on-4s that can't be met.
Yeah, seeing Ryzes with teleport is always one of those situations where you're not quite sure when you're going to get ganked. It's like we went forward a little bit, but we're expecting the mid lane to roam. Oh, he's already here. These teleports will set him up to get through these mid-game power spikes and get to that late game as Ryze.
See if he can get his way there. Playing Duck sitting on the bottom side. I don't believe they saw the trinket come down. Maybe it has. It's timed out, though. PD, they are going for a late invade bottom side.
Yeah, and Actually, Prothana is down here with them.
Yep, you can just TP. It's not a big problem.
Hopefully he can be a big problem in the late game as Gragas.
If they play it right, playing Dex can get a 3-buff start here. So they see that no one's around. This is theirs. Flag just to make sure no one's waiting in the wings, and they're going to be safe.
Yeah, I don't know if they walked by... No, they didn't walk by that ward that's placed to the left of Dragon. So there's no idea that it was done.
So there's a really good chance they think he started blue buff. No, because Lucian and Morgana are coming to lane too late. But basically, Prothana's missing 1 spell worth of mana. He didn't recall and buy more items. So he looks like he leached top lane, except for the fact that Sazed and Shan'Tao came to lane so late.
Invade coming in here from Morden. Looking for the blue.
He'll get it. And that's actually the problem, is JWoww, of course, got the early push that you can't realistically support.
See him.
I don't know if they're going to stop him, though. It's the thing.
Yeah,
Like, Jarvan's jungle route shows he's not trying to stop them.
Yeah, they're not going to stop him.
Ooh, 2-on-2 though. Look at that level 2 came in first, and they hooked in Shan'Tao. This could be bad. Rocket Jump flashed away from. Stays safe. Binding won't quite land, but look at that.
The beauty of Tristana, you push the wave so easily with the explosive shot at level 1 that you get the level 2 first. People talk about, you know, Tristana's laning phase, and you always say it, and everybody else does too, that the early game is still actually really damn good. It's just her mid game. She has a little bit of trouble.
Well, here's the risky play, though. He wants this one. They are playing so aggressively. There's the trinket in the wall. Hook's going to come through, but now how well... Oh, my God, that binding just whiffed horribly, and Rydell flashes out, and he stays safe.
Sazed not lining up the binding at all and not forcing the flash. Shan'Tao, low HP, though. He's going to have to be... He already blew his potion, so he's going to have to try to stay safe. It's going to require some attention.
And we'll see how safe they can be on this one. Shan'Tao really low on health, and he's got no good way of bringing his health back. He does have a good minion score right here, but that doesn't always mean a ton for him right now. If he can't stay in lane, he's got to recall early without buying any items. That score is going to diminish rather quickly, but right now, they are okay. Morden going to look for the bottom lane here, and there's very little ward coverage. There's the trinket.
They see it, though. They
He's
know
going to go for
Lantern
gank.
He's going to come through the lane if he can. As soon as Rydell runs forward.
The minion comes down, finds Shan'Tao. In comes the team exhaust used on top of Black Shield, though, meaning he is not slowed. Great finding. Shan'Tao hides behind Sazed, who eats a cocoon for his teammate, keeps him safe. Good escape.
Satan is here, but he's already half HP, and he can't participate in this fight at all.
So that was 2 summoners for 1, actually. Of course, damage came through against the playing Dex bottom lane, but Rydell is now without summoners here. That gank force did not work. Avenue versus Ocelot. Looking at the matchup now, actually holding fairly close to equal. Just the cannon. And that melee, or that ranged minion. Tisk, tisk, tisk.
Now he's going to try to freeze it just a little bit. Nope, he's actually just walking it off to the side.
But Sazed in the 1v2. Nice dodge on the hook. Ooh. Just kidding, he took it. Just kidding. Didn't actually dodge the hook. Q. Yeah!
Making sure that he got it.
Blasting cannons in this board is really hard.
Yeah.
You have like 40 damage against them.
Use an ability.
You have to predict turret damage perfectly to do it, basically. Alright, wave clear attempts from Prothana. Pretty easily able to push. Holding close in minions, so JWoww actually does have a lead right now. Just doing a little bit better at last hitting everything, so good for him. TP is coming back up right now for Prothana.
There's actually a difference in items and power spike in the bottom lane. Shan'Tao ended up getting a Doran's Blade, whereas Yuki gets himself a pickaxe at the same time. He's got that bully potential now with that extra item.
Do you want to recall later? Just a really big boon for him here. This is going to be a bit scary then for the Playing Ducks bot lane. They still don't have that much sustain or even that much damage, so I think you got to be pretty afraid of this one. Avenue really making some headway though onto Ocelot. Gonna have to use his TP soon. Looks like he'll do it right now. So Avenue just gonna do the wave clearing.
Yeah, Avenue's almost 6, and there it goes. So Ocelot could not stay in lane any longer.
He's not gonna deny much that the TP can put him right back in lane. Looks like he'll do that. Tier, and he's got the makings of Catalyst, and then Ocelot can get back to lane. Actually undoes the mana crystal, buys boots. Alright, Ocelot redid his items for a little while. He's back in action.
Gets himself a sweeper too at the very last second. Swapping his trinket out.
Alright, Ocelot. Up 3 minions, has gone back to base first. Zeal for Avenue. It's going to be another small lead for Ocelot as he walks back in.
Going for the static Shiv standard. His bottom lane. Shan'Tao backs, gets himself a longsword this time.
Well, he's closer in item parity now, but still it's going to be a rough situation. Nice harass comes out from Yuki. It's good Black Shield. I actually do like Morgana against Tristana. It's so easy to block. The reason she's good in lane, like the explosive shot damage, is very easily Black Shielded.
And Satane looking for a gank up top, has not been seen out by a ward just yet.
Damage comes through. Avenue does not want to windwall this.
He's actually on the right side of the jungle for the red buff.
Yeah.
Just respawned, and Morden is on his way over there right now. And he's gonna see it pretty much right as it's smited away.
My camp's gone. Oh, the ward down. Smite fight goes to Satane.
Yeah. You put the ward down, you have no idea what HP it's at. You have to be ready for it. But clicking on it and then figuring it out, you don't want to miss smite.
Nope. Just embarrassing when you do.
Now he ends up getting the blue or the red buff away. He's going to continue to invade it, but they know where Satane is.
Yeah, but also at the same time, JWoww's starting to get some really good pressure from his top lane. Satane forced a little bit more defensive there. Looks at the mid lane, doesn't see much to do with the Wraith camp, but JWoww, as you got to point out, is starting to do a lot better in that top lane matchup, continually pushing up against Prothana. Avenue maybe goes for a push here against Ocelot, just kind of loses his shield. He's playing defensively enough, he's not really taking any meaningful damage.
Yeah, he's trying to bait out wind walls on Ocelot's side, so that the next time he can just root him and get a full combo.
But you get one wind wall per wave, as long as you're conscious of that.
Yeah.
Which right now Avenue is not actually. He's actually pushed up. Link in from Elise, but the push in the bottom lane with their Rydell's going to go in. Avenue's got to be real careful. Dashing through Morden, flash to the cocoon. Is there another spell coming up in time? Looks like no. Avenue gets away with just a summoner spell lost.
Yeah, he doesn't have teleport himself, so he's going to have to walk back after he heals, and that's going to leave Satane off on this side of the jungle alone. He's going to see Morden. He is 6th, though, but he doesn't have the help of his mid laner, whereas Morden does.
Yeah, so it's the Jarvan being a little bit careful in this one. The bot lane treading water, but that's good for the Tristana right here. So you got to be a bit afraid right now if you're Shantou. Looks like he's going to go for the Ruined King opening build. Different one this time for him. Although he did rush a Vamp Scepter last time, so maybe he
I have no idea. I have no idea.
I don't know. I'm still not a fan, but, you know, whatever. He's a better player than I am. Wards come down looking for Elise lane ganks. None there. Level 6 comes in first for the Gamers2 bot lane. Nice hook onto Shantou. Says asleep at the wheel, though. Doesn't even Black Shield until after it lands there. Right,
here comes
really
Satane.
big damage, though. Knockback from Yuki. The flash EQ, and now the Cataclysm. Rydell's got nowhere to go. Surely to be a kill. He breaks the Cataclysm. He breaks it early, and they don't get the kill. Satane's got to be careful because here comes the teleports, though. JWoww is going to complete, and he gets the knockup on it, too. Shantou gets saved by the explosive cask of Prothana. The binding keeping him safe as well. Cocoon's going to miss.
Meanwhile, Ocelot and Avenue are actually fighting back and forth. Last Breath not activated just yet, but man, huge fight down bottom.
Yeah, huge fights everywhere. All 5 champs were in combat in the last 20 seconds right here. Playing Dutch is going to walk back towards their mid lanes and their normal spots here, but
nothing happened. Everybody just go back to your business.
A lot of excitement. No kills just yet.
A lot of that bottom lane was just because the Cataclysm was ended early and Satane didn't want to die. He blew his flash EQ combo to blow the flash before he blew his Cataclysm, but it just put him too far up and he's taking too much damage from Yuki in comparison to the damage that Shantou was dealing to Rydell. So he breaks it, walks away, but there's a whole bunch of threats coming in.
There are plenty of them, and you got to be real careful. So I want to see who makes like the first sort of next big move, really. Like I
want to see who gets first blood.
Yeah,
it's like wow.
That's true. I'm like, it's weird. It's hard to cast this game after casting the last game because they're making all these moves all the time, and it was like, oh, these rotations and all these item builds things going on. I'm like, wait, they're just trading damage in lane. I'm not used to this. It's been so long since my last laning phase.
Yeah, it's been.
There's the walk through. Ocelot getting plenty of damage, and Avenue, of course, can't dash through because there's too many minions. He couldn't play that one and get across. So nice enough by Ocelot pushes him back, and this mid lane matchup starting to get really scary as Ocelot powers up.
That's the thing. Ocelot gets another binding, another rune prison. Be able to contest this. Sazed. Looking for a steal.
Ooh. Nice try. No. Gets 5 gold from Rydell.
Can't walk past that one to be turret range.
Yeah. But you can see just how rough life is for Avenue right now. He's getting closer to Static Shiv. I'm not sure if he quite has the money for it on this recall.
Oh, he doesn't have wind wall.
Oh no, Avenue, one hit from dead. Ocelot flashes for the auto attack. First blood comes through. And there you go, man. The mid lane matchup. Ocelot picks Rise as a counter to Yasuo and crushes it.
It's a solo kill there, too. The Rune Prison going through the wind wall. And he's actually maxing it second so that he gets the increased duration on it. So it gives him more time to walk around.
Oh, wow. Well, he's just plenty afraid then of all this. And of course, we did have the changes to the E a while back where it stacks up to less total damage. But the thing is, the cooldown change is so good on that.
Yeah, and a lot of people max it for the magic resist shred and also clearing waves because he has no other wave clear mechanic besides his ultimate. You don't always want to be blowing that.
Yeah. So for some reason, I keep getting backwards on you. I thought you were talking about Yasuo for a second there, and I'm just like completely behind the times.
Oh, you were sorry.
I was talking about like I was like, wow, he maxed Windwall second. That's interesting.
No, I was talking about Rise.
Yeah, I'm being silly.
Windwall doesn't increase in duration.
I didn't think it did either, but I was like, I trust you.
No. Rise Root.
What's wrong with me?
There we go. I'll be more specific.
Rise Root, the Rune Prison.
There we go. The Rune Prison from Rise.
Yep.
Increases in duration.
Okay, yeah, no, we're good. We're good.
But Avenue is maxing Windwall second.
Alrighty. Ha! Yes!
I'm not wrong.
I'm not crazy. Avenue, though, forced to run away. Down a full level under Ocelot. Satan, level 8 right here. Blue buff. Of course, he doesn't need to give this to Avenue. Thing is, even still, I like maxing E second on Yasuo because the cooldown between dashes is such a useful thing to reduce.
Yeah, he's more worried about the flow generation for the shield and also the fact that the wind wall has a lower cooldown.
Yeah, and we mentioned the sort of gates on that one. So Avenue trying to stay safe. Actually bought a Vamp Step to do so. So playing next, really playing for a bit of a later situation. BF Sword does come through for Shantou. Still wants that IE build, it seems.
23-second cooldown right now on the wind wall.
Knock up, but he can't fight Ocelot right now. The thing is, Ocelot already has his Rod of Ages started. He's got so much health, he's really hard to kill, and it only gets worse.
Yeah, he'll eventually get the very cheap Glacial Shroud.
Yeah.
It'll just be a nightmare for Avenue.
And he'll spell vamp up in a fight.
And he's so fast, too. He can close this distance. Look at that, 405 movement speed with just boots one.
Uh-oh, Shantau's going to get hooked again. The Black Shield is late. Exhaust is on. He's trying to run away, but in comes the Tristana. Exhaust late as well, and Yuki gets stunned. And here comes the Jarvan. Can they claim the kill? Teleport comes in. Knockup's there. There's the dunk, and Satan makes him die for it, but still, Gamers2 making better plays.
Ocelot ends up using his teleport. The previous dragon, we saw it was taken by Morden. That's why they have this gold lead right now. But also the fact that actually every lane is winning in CS.
Uh-oh, this is not good for Avenue. He's suddenly going to get trapped up by 2 extra members. Flashes away, but doesn't have anything to do for it. At least he runs away successfully.
Yeah, no follow by Morden. Rydell's going to try to zone off the J4 on the side. And push up the mid. A lot of this is just, he hooks him.
Nope, doesn't get the plant in time though. Satan's got to be careful. EQ's over, but finds Ocelot right in front of him. He flashes. Does he have the durability? There's the wind wall. Saves Satan just barely.
Wow, and now Saze is coming up the side. I don't know how much they can defend this turret. They don't really have the damage output to take it, but man, if they start fighting this.
With Shantou, they have enough to defend this, though. Knockup does not land in a Rydell. He jukes away to the side successfully.
Ocelot's there.
Still wants this, gets hooked up, though. This is not good. Black Shield comes out. He's running. He's one hit from dead. They actually claim Rydell, but here comes JWoww. Finds the kill. Shantou is also going to go down, though. They overextended for those kills.
Man, Gamers2, since the last game, you put a Rise inside the fight, it's so much persistent damage and durability that the longer the team fight goes, the better Rise is.
And it's just getting harsher and harsher now. Gamers2 taking a lot more advantage than they did in Game 1. Here we are 16 minutes in. They've got almost 2 turret kills. In addition to all this dragon pressure they've got, plus the 2-kill lead. This looks much better.
Yeah, everybody winning in CS as well across the lanes. There's a 40 CS lead in the mid for Ocelot, who last game was actually, I believe, down in CS most of the game. Actually, no, he was up a little bit, and then Avenue
it was an easier
started
matchup.
Coming up. Yeah, easier matchup for him. He still had the counter pick for this match, and he's just decimating it.
Yeah, that Black Shield coming in a little bit late. He was out of range, to be fair, but the wind wall also not being up was pretty rough. He could have blocked so much there.
Went really hard for that kill. And like I said, though, it's not over, or even close to over, because come back. back mechanics from Yasuo are real. Prothana.
On the wrong side of this fight, though. Body slam. Flash to the slow. Nice. Yeah, just lost a flash. It's not bad.
Not bad at all, as long as he doesn't lose his life. He's good. 35 seconds on the Dragon. The TP is up for the top laners. Not Ocelot.
It's okay. It's pretty quick to walk there. I feel like he'll make it to the Dragon fight.
Yeah, it's just a little bit away. And I don't see him dying soon.
Yeah. And besides, Ocelot's run fast naturally, so I feel like no big problem for him. Ward goes back down. I always love it when you sweep a ward out. Oh, he goes in for it anyway. Hook comes through. Black Shield is there, but Satan just goes down too fast. The rest of G2 was already there. They've got to run away. Windwall comes down, doesn't do a single thing. Rune Prison and the attack damage, and Yuki isn't even done. Says flashes away.
The late game scaling of this competition from Gamers2, and they're winning the early mid game.
Yeah.
Won the lanes, now winning this mid game and getting all the dragons. They're setting themselves up for a pretty easy game here.
I gotta say, the new pickup, Rydell, is doing pretty freaking great overall. His hooks have been awesome. Say's honestly looks way less comfortable on Morgana than he did on Thresh. The Black Shields, you compare them to ones of Rydell. Okay, sometimes he got faked out and he chose the wrong targets. But Rydell was always there in time.
Ooh, the cocoon.
That's cute.
Hitting the wind wall.
And again, just more wave clear from this Rise there. 2 turrets already gone. Gamers2, I feel like, could make a play for top lane before too long. There's no flash in Prothana for a few more minutes.
No real plays here from Satan for the most part. He had about 1 or 2, but 18 minutes.
Oh, that was nice.
Ooh.
That was perfect. That's why I like Gragas against Aatrox sometimes. You can just knock him back.
Got him out of the dark flight. And now, at this point, Dragon's down. 2 turrets are down. Playing Ducks, they're sitting basically on their hands like, okay, let's not do anything that causes us to lose more. But they aren't really making any aggressive moves. You see one that's being attempted now. Sazed, Satan, top lane. But this would be reliant on JWoww diving. Morden is also grouping up top. Nobody knows that the other jungler is here.
No, but they're trying to read it, though. Prothana, like, they know Prothana is low without flash, so both junglers are like, hey, this is a target of opportunity. And Satan's like, hey, they're going to try to kill you.
Sazed is here. Jungler already backed off, though.
They come in fine. He's going to hit on the JWoww. And actually, you're right. Satan's nowhere to be seen, so nothing really gained except safety.
No, Ocelot is actually wrapping around here.
There's the ward. Satan knows better than to fight that one, but they do get pushed off the turret. Oh, the cocoon lands. Sazed ults for this one. Can he catch Morden? No, he's too slow. Binding. Nice repel. He's got nowhere to jump to, though. It's going to allow time for them to come in. There's the puddle. There's the damage coming. The knockup on a Morden. He's got nowhere to go, and the kill comes through to Satan. Nicely done. Red buff steal on the bottom side, but I'd almost rather take a kill.
Going over to Yuki, he's already got his Infinity Edge and a Zeal. He's hitting those power spikes. He's a very scary Tristana already in this game in comparison to everybody else.
Yeah, it's a... oh, nope. Not going to get anything.
No minion for you.
Knock up on a Rydell, though, and Ocelot shows up. They're going to stay nice and safe.
Oh, if they get a knock up on Ocelot.
Uh-oh, the box comes down, though, and there they go. Ocelot actually is going to run away from this one pretty safely. They don't want to fight him. They're actually picking out the Thresh instead, but Rydell has got movie boots. Oh, nice knockback on an Avenue. She gets away.
Well done there with the flay.
Yeah.
Stopping that distance from the sweeping. Down bottom, though, Yuki is looking for some Shantou action.
Uh-oh.
Got the red buff. Shantou pushes up at all.
He is. He's just auto-attacking. That brush is so deadly for AD carries, by the way. So many chaps get laid in that brush right there in front of double golems. But G2, really, they're just strangling the map right now. They seem to not be able to make the play top lane. Satan is trying to read that. He's spending so much time up there saying, if I were G2, I'd just crush top outer. It'd be so easy. It'd be so free. Right now...
just like that.
Yep. But G2, like... They're warding heavily on the southern jungle. They're actually really setting up Yuki. It's actually the play that's actually where they're playing around.
Yeah, and the 2 teleports are going to help that as well. If Yuki even ends up in a slightly bad spot, you can teleport and turn that fight around.
Yep.
Actually, they're sending him top now. So he's going to be farming against the Gragas with that red buff, and then they're going to send JWoww down bottom.
Interesting. Okay.
Late game lane swap.
Yeah, well, they're going to have to get the wards back under control, though. These things will time out before too long. Looks like Rydell wants to make his way back in there soon to get the wards back over. Sweeps that, sees the trinket came down, but can't defend that, or kill that, I should say. You're sitting on 4,000 gold, and of course with Dragon off the map, you don't need to have your non-teleports on the bottom lane, of course, because there's nothing to fight for over there. They ping the Ocelot's missing in action.
Where is he? Where's he at?
Top lane.
There he is.
But they're not committing many resources. Like, they're finally pulling Rydell over. But it's so... It's hard to push Gragas to his turret because the wave clear is so good. And Prothana, you see, he walks back and hides and waits for the next minion wave to show up. He's so aware that they're going to dive him at some point.
Now the support and AD carry both up here. Ocelot, no real brawls back and forth with Avenue still. It's kind of died down after Avenue realized how powerful Ocelot was becoming. And now he's just trying to scale himself, taking jungle camps, taking minion waves. Trying to get that comeback mechanic with the last breath in a great team fight. Because that'll be what gets them back in if they team fight. But I don't know how much you want to team fight against the Aatrox, Tristana, and Arise.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah. Kind of don't want to, unless you're very confident in your ability to get an explosive cask and combo that into the last breath.
I mean, that's the thing, is like you have to get something going on, right? Like they're like most of them are all durable and damage dealers. They just like the weird thing is they're all individually very threatening, right? The weird thing is they're not good. It sounds weird, but like team fighters per se, where like Shockwave can win you a game, right? If you go for 5-5 and you get Shockwave, you're like, oh man, I have to respect the fact that Orianna can win this fight by herself. Like, when you see Ryze, you know what you're getting out of Ryze. And in fact, you could potentially win while his primary damage spells. Like, theoretically, playing Dux, I feel like should look for 5-on-5s, because what else could they look for?
Yeah, because they're not going to be able to 1v1 a lot of people. These are very 1v1 oriented champions.
Exactly.
On Gamers2. They're all very safe, but also have high damage output, durable, like you said. But then their synergy within each other, that's the thing, like you were talking about, that's not completely there. Whereas playing Dux has a little bit more synergy in their comp.
Yeah, and so if they can get those, like, you know, we're waiting for the guys to TP in, like Gragas, I mean, the thing is, like, you need Gragas is the problem. Like, G2 can play the one-on-one game because they're forcing the teleport plays, and it's just like, it gets really awkward really fast.
Oh, trying to turn it around.
Oh, Shantou gets exhausted. Morgana ulti is there as well. Darkflame comes in, tries to flash. He can't get away in time, but gets a slowdown. There's a Bloodwell pop. Here's the teleport coming in
Prothana
to keep the team alive. Good damage from the cooling comes out. JWoww gets a lantern, and he's safe. Here they go. Oh! They don't get him yet, but they get the dunk down, and now they go in towards Rydell. Good damage coming through. Exhaust on Avenue. He's got a flash away from that one. Kills are picked up so far. Now, can they keep going? Satan does stay alive for a while. That was a very large amount of damage tanked up before he had to flash away from that one.
Did a lot of damage to JWoww, and they ended up getting him through his Bloodwell afterwards. Getting 2 for 0 right there. Nobody can really do the Dragon at this point, though. Gamers2, if they get some control, they'll be able to, though, because they saw Satan low.
Okay, Recall's going to come through. Looks like Playing Dux will stay safe, and they finally find their first glimmer of hope here. The problem is, millions under fire. Now Avenue can windwall that and keep these minion waves safe. Buy time for his team, but the fact that they win a fight but can't get anything off of it means their road back in this game is incredibly slow.
Morden starting against the Dragon. TP available for JWoww. Can they get into the fight? Explosive cast not up yet, but if they get a flag and drag.
Attempted go. Picked up there by Gamers2, and the fight has begun, and Saze goes down first. TP comes in. Satan's got to be real careful. There comes JWoww. Satan explodes. Does not have the shields available, and they're still going to chase down. Shantou forced to run away. 2 kills plus Dragon for Gamers2. And this is the Gamers2 that's winning early game.
So you went 2-0 for playing Dux in the previous fight. Now Gamers2 goes 2 for nothing. And they get a Dragon off of it. They profit a lot more, and they're going for this middle turret.
Yeah. Wavesler comes out, knocked back there, doesn't matter though, and another turret falls. G2 doing a much better job of winning fights with high health bars, and then just going back to the objectives. And that's kind of the thing is, you get these picks, and if you're smart about it, you know exactly how many kills you can pick up, and you don't overextend and take extra damage. For example, playing Dux that last fight, the one that they won, Satan, as part of the fight to be fair, but was in the very front lines, took a whole bunch of damage, and they couldn't fight for Dragon anymore. The 5v3, but they took so much damage cleaning up the battle, they couldn't grab anything.
Yeah.
Whereas G2 had health bars. That's actually a very important trait, is what your health bars look like afterwards.
Yeah, and what you can capitalize with. Like, they got that turret for themselves because of it. And now, we basically take a look at those fights again. Think about it. Tristana Yuki ended up being the one who killed the dragon. So 50-50 chance there. And Satane, he trickled into the fight late, walked on top of teleport, and was like, oh, nope, I gotta get out, and ended up getting dropped.
Yeah.
Just kind of really strange trickle-in, very desperate move from playing Ducks. And now they're trying bush camping to try and get back into this game. They're trying different tactics. Well, now Avenue's still pushing, like you called.
Yeah, and the thing is, the pick on Aatrox was how they got in. Like, looking for these, like, weird oddball battles where they just, like, they have such good hard engage because of Explosive Cask and Jarvan. They can pick these fights out. Good. Flag and Drag, he's going to stay safe. And by Split pushing this heavily, as long as they can play around the teleports well, they actually create a lot of landscape for these picks, right? Satane can just show up and be like, knock up, and then Avenue kills the person. And that's, like, a really good situation for playing Ducks. But it's just hard to find them if G2 is aware of their plans.
Mid lane siege coming in here from playing Ducks. All 5 members here, only 3 for Gamers2. The other 2 are on the left side.
Oh, this flank could be deadly though. Wind wall is down. Satane's got to get away from this one. Rune Prison's there. There's Cocoon. Nice black shield for the flash. The slow from Gragas. I don't know how much more G2 can get. Ocelot is actually pushed into range, and here comes everyone else. Satane goes down. That was not the explosive cast they wanted. More chasing coming through. No slow quite on a Prothana. But the 1-for-0 still good.
He's still so durable, though, despite the fact that Ocelot got launched into the fight. Nobody was really committed to turning it.
Yeah, if you Yasuo ult that, he doesn't die, and you just get sad again. So this is going to be another turret picked up there. Sazed.
I actually haven't seen a single Yasuo ult this entire game.
There hasn't been a single one.
Just hasn't been able to set it up, and Gragas Prothana has been using his ultimate in a very defensive manner. That it's not setting up the team fight. And Satane is actually getting dropped before he's able to get another EQ combo off after the one he uses to close the distance.
And that's really the problem, is he's trying to take out as best he can, but the problem is he just doesn't have the items out just yet. He's got decent farm, he's got 3 kills, he's about as well set up as you could expect to be, I feel. The problem is there's no global gold to feed him that extra little bit of item to finish that locket, to finish that Merc Treads. And he's just falling farther and farther behind because of it. Going for the play here. Avenue does not hit the knockup. It doesn't quite find them. Rydell going to be on one side of this one. Binding going to get dodged away from it. Here comes the box. Here's the exhaust as well.
There it is.
And he goes for the knockup there. Can he pick up Rydell? One hit from the kill. Yes, he does. The black shield holds. And now Morden does not have flash. He has nowhere to go, but he has a teammate. Is that going to be enough? No, it is not. And that's going to be the kill with the Dark Binding. Now, will they go for Baron here? Yes, maybe.
Well, here's the thing. You have a Tristana and a Ryze. Prothana.
Oh! Yeah, that's not good.
He almost gets taken out there after dancing a little bit.
Everything keeps missing. The EQ comes out. Satane trying to stay alive. Prothana low on health.
It's 3 members of Gamers2.
Yeah, it's a 3v5, and they were forced to run away from this one. Yuki may be overextended, though. Flashes back over. Here comes JY. Here comes Ocelot. 2 kills picked up so far. Now for Avenue. Has the shield. Has the knockup. Stays safe. Ooh, he stops the rocket jump, actually. But G2 just won a 3v5.
Oh, the...
Nah, he's got a shield. He's fine.
Blades of Torment doesn't even connect. Man, stopping the Baron, stopping the attempt. Prothana missing the barrel, and now Gamers2. And they're trying to get Dominion for this pit.
Wow. You can just see how more well-controlled Gamers2 is. It's not like PD had no health last time. Like, at the Dragon fight, it's like, okay, well, you know, one guy overextended, he had low health, they had to back up. This one was like a clean 5-on-3, and they just misplayed it horribly.
Yeah, it was the 3 damage dealers of the team, though. You had the very durable Ryze, you had the Blade of the Ruined King, JWoww, Aatrox, and then you also had the high damage Yuki on Tristana. Look at the difference in items. He is up on an entire Lath Whisper right now over Shantou.
That's difficult to hear, is that Gamers2 just seem to, when they get in the same kind of fights, have more stats and it makes them win the battles. But playing Ducks, you just got to feel like there were a couple things they could have done to not let that happen here. And it's really cost them here in this game, too. First one looked so close and it could have gone either way. But G2 seemed to not be relinquishing control, even if they give up a couple of kills. Even if there's that one misstep and someone's in the wrong place, there's just not much punished for it. Good Black Shield. They go for the engage on the Ocelot. They go hard as they possibly can. The knockback onto the back line, but Yuki is safe to deal all the damage he wants. Everyone's going to be dying right here. Sazed gets a nice couple of stuns out, but it's still a 2-for-0.
And we said it earlier, if you get the last breath onto Ryze and he still doesn't die, you're in a terrible spot. 3-0-8 on Ocelot.
Oh, goodbye.
He's just going hard.
Yep, this is going to be game right here, or at least the makings of it. Top inhibitor going to be falling, 3 members dead for another 15 to 30 seconds here. G2 don't have many minions left, so they will back out on this one, but they are in such control right now with Baron buff and a dead inhibitor. This is their game to lose.
Yeah, it really is, and you have to get picked off if you're playing somebody like Ryze, who's so durable. You're not going to blow him up in a team fight with this composition that you have from playing Dux and the items that you've built. The way back in for playing Dux, though, is do we get the Infinity Edge completed and the 100% crit on Avenue? Then can we blow up a squishy? Then can we continue the fight, block some priority damage with Windwall? It would have to be played perfectly.
And that's going to be the hard thing. There's actually one thing to point out as well with the Yasuo build. So normally, players buy Ruin King because it's a source of 40% attack speed. And there's basically the way Yasuo works is there's a cap on so that the cast time and cooldown of the Q go down with attack speed, down to a cap.
Yep.
And I forget the exact number.
It's 1.33 on Steel.
Well, yeah, so I know the number of what it goes down to, but the amount of attack speed required to do so. Now, that amount of attack speed is basically either Berserker Greaves and Static Shiv, or Static Shiv, not Berserker Greaves, and Blade of the Ruin King. Those are the 2 builds. You don't need any other attack speed. The fact that he went Ruin King and Berserker Greaves, those Greaves are fairly useless. They don't do very much.
And they're looking for a pick here, though, on a Morden.
And that's going to be Morden going down, so those random picks are working for playing Dux. Good read.
After the Dragon was completed, checks the bush. Rydell's going to throw one in there. Ocelot coming around the right side, but everybody's just backing up from it. Like you're saying, yes, the Greaves maybe could help him if they were Merc Treads against the Ryze.
Or Ninja Tabby against Tristana. Both those would be good options.
It does multiply his Blade of the Ruin King damage if he gets close, though, and the number of attacks he gets.
Yeah, but you just don't get that many, to be honest.
It's true. It's true. You use a lot of auto attacks, but from the Steel Tempest more than anything. Spam that ability.
Like, it's not literally useless, to be completely fair, but when his problem right now is even getting into the fights and staying alive, like...
Everybody's having trouble staying alive on playing Dux right now.
I mean, that is true, but...
Except for Prothana. He's been alive this entire game.
But unfortunately, we just haven't seen the synergy we were hoping for with the Gragas, Jarvan, Yasuo. We just have not gotten the engagements they're looking for. They're finding a couple of catches, and that's good by Satan and everyone else involved. But there's just no good fallback pattern for a long time. Like, you've got to basically wait until Gamers2 caps on items, and then playing Dux still buys some more before they catch up in the item game right here. It'll keep actually snowballing worse and worse as time goes on. And I don't know if we're going to get another hour-long game in this one. G2 seems way too content to keep the pressure on and close the game out.
You're right, the pressure is really high. That top inhibitor is pushing in with minions, and they have that late game Tristana with the range. They're able to wave clear very quickly and get to these turrets. And they have multiple people who could dive. As soon as that Bloodwell is ready to go, he's ready to dive.
Well, here we go. The bottom inhibitor under fire. Banshee's Veil breaks from Ocelot. Yuki has some pretty decent damage down, but there's no Black Shield this time and no Mikhail, so he has to be very afraid of the pick potential. A bind hits, he's got no way out. And that's why Yuki's like going really scared with these attacks.
JWoww now has his Bloodwell.
There's the knockback.
Oh!
3-man, they get Ocelot. He could go down first.
He's in turret range.
Has the shield up. JWoww got to get his Bloodwell popped in a second. Actually, the Windwall stops Yuki for the start of this one. Morden will fall 1-for-0. No one's dead just yet. There goes Gragas. And now Satan is the focus. In comes Yuki. Knockup goes back in through to JWoww. Another kill picked up, though. Shantao now has to be careful. Rydell gets the hook, and there comes Yuki as well. Such damage coming out. Yasuo even respects the Tristana there. The kill finally comes through onto Thresh, who pulled Trad aggro 2-for-2, but the inhibitor turret goes down.
Great fight there from Gamers2, through and through. Prothana used his ultimate, but of course they only isolated Ocelot, used the last breath on him instead of multiple people, and bam, very low, they still don't kill him. They end up just getting Morden off the back of that with Rydell the backs.
And you can see like how different this game would have been if the early game didn't go so horribly. Ocelot just has so much mana and so many items that he's just hard to kill.
Yeah. Barrel interrupts it, but they get Ocelot. Ocelot uses his ultimate, and he gets a lot of health back just from throwing some spells out. Meanwhile, JWoww has his Bloodwell popped because he took some turret aggro. But Yuki just starts wrecking havoc on everybody. Watch his damage. He just goes on to Shantou for like a second, and he starts chunking him down. And Avenue comes up, and it's just a little bit of back and forth, but they end up with the turret. And it's just the prowess that they have in the team fights and the very strong members that scale that won them the fight. He couldn't kill Ocelot, even with all that dedicated to him, and 2 ultimates and then some. And he's still very healthy, and he makes it out of the fight.
So Avenue didn't keep maxing W, by the way. He's level 17, and the wind wall's only rank 4. So he stopped maxing it, which I'm sad about. Ooh, almost. That could have been a flay kill. That was close. But that is actually, and it's unsung a little bit about Yasuo, but Shantau's going to be careful. TP, I think he's going to stay safe. Do they have the pinch on a JWoww, though? He pops the Ruin King. Q's up in 4 seconds. Can he get cut off? TP. Oh, Gragas got that.
Oh!
Knocks him back. Q is available, though, but he's not going to go anywhere with that one. Actually goes in for Shantau. Big damage comes through, but that is the GA popped. Q comes out. Damage comes through. Baron Nashor picked up by Gamers2. But a 5-on-4, if these guys...
blood.
Oh, that flay, it stopped Satan. He's got flash. He doesn't use it, though. And down he goes, a little bit too late. Over the wall comes Yuki into a bind. Shantou stays safe. Both teams now 4v4. This could easily be the game for Gamers2. 2 open inhibitors.
Satan got crit on that last flying particle after the flash for about 600, I thought I saw. Hasn't really prioritized armor at all against Tristana. It's a big thing. He's just got magic resistance.
Yeah. That's part of the reason I don't like Hextrigger so much on Jarvan, is just like it delays your ability to buy something like a Randowitz by so much, but it is the build that all the pros use, so they do want to mix the damage in there anyway and be that slightly bigger threat. Avenue is split pushing. The team is actually holding the base pretty nicely, so he'll get this turret, I believe. I think I was... Oh, never mind. Just kidding. TP.
And Ocelot shows up. And it's gone.
Yep, never mind. He's good. The one way in, though, that like is maybe okay for playing Ducks, it's really hard, but it could work, is you get that one good wind wall that stops Ocelot for like 4 seconds and Yuki for 4 seconds, and you just like have this like bastion of safety where like only Aatrox is dealing damage, and like maybe you can work your way in and Shantau can kill everyone. But it's such a difficult scenario to actually have happen.
Shantau doesn't really have the items either. He doesn't have the Last Whisper yet to deal with the armor of Ocelot. He also has the attack speed slow on him, which does affect Avenue too. Which may be another reason why he has the extra attack speed.
That's irrelevant. Oh no, okay, yeah, you're right. You know, I get you on that one. You're right. That totally could be a reason to land your Qs. Sorry. Yeah, you're absolutely right. For Avenue, yeah.
They just don't have the damage output, is the big thing here for playing Ducks. They don't have the damage output or the durability to match Gamers2 right now. And even if you keep scaling up, it's really just, can Avenue destroy a squishy like Yuki?
Yeah.
Be hard, but then Ocelot, it's so difficult to deal with the late game rise. And right now you can see playing Ducks, desperate, are going to try to make a move for a pick in the bottom lane. The wave is pretty far out, and they have super minions.
In too soon.
They have super minions pushing in the top.
Yeah. I agree with you that I think Yuki's the guy. Because as we've seen time and time again, Ocelot, 0 deaths, obviously is not dying in these fights. Because of the lock and pickup for Satan, because there's enough MR around on this team, I think they can withstand Ocelot for a short time. I mean, it'll hurt, but they'll survive. With Yuki gone, there isn't that much damage output left, and they can maybe turn the fight. Problem is that it's really hard to get rid of this guy. They've got to break the Banshee's Veil. He actually almost walked into that barrel.
It's hard to get rid of anybody on this team. Look at how tanky everybody has gotten.
Yeah.
Warmogs, Sunfire Cape, Spirit of the Ancient Golem, Merc Treads on Morden. He's not going spell penalties, he's going full tank, full durability here. And they're just trying to be a big wall for Ocelot and Yuki. And like I said, the longer the fight goes on, the better it is for Rise. And that's what they're trying to do, make long fights.
And they're doing a good job of making it a long game as well, 41 minutes in. Jumps over the wall, good safety here by G2, and there's now 2 dead inhibitors. Mid lane wave can come down, they can make that a 3rd. And G2 are very cautious to take the exact right kinds of fights, to not overcommit, to not get caught out, and make sure they're in the right place.
It looks really grim for playing Ducks right now.
Yeah.
They have very little chances to get back into this game. And Gamers2 really have to just reveal the chances to them, reveal the opportunities with somebody out of position. They're doing a very good job of not opening those up.
Yeah, flag goes down. It breaks the Banshee's Veil. Prothana, can you get the explosive cast? It is just all about how good Gragas and Yasuo get in on this fight. This is the way in for playing Ducks. Still no Mikhails from Rydell. He actually is going to just tank for himself so he can dive in. He will not be able to save Yuki. Yuki's maxed out on items. One slot to go until Shantou reaches him. But that is a Banshee's Veil, so as far as offensive capabilities, they're equal. iEdge done for Avenue. This is the most relevant power spike playing Ducks will ever get this game. They're looking for it. Wind wall.
A little far
That's actually a
forward.
risk.
Culling into Yuki, but still not enough damage. Everybody's so tanky. You have to identify the threats. Ocelot, Yuki. Yuki's a higher priority because you don't have as many resistances against him. But it's so hard to get to him.
And you see how confident Ocelot plays. They go in, they find Shantou, he's got to get away. But Rydell goes in under the Nexus turrets, but he's going to stay alive for this one. The knockback is there, but by the way, Avenue died the whole time, and Killzone is coming through now. 3 already for playing Ducks. Make that 4. Gamers2 crushing everybody here, and that's going to be the game for certain. 2-0, 43 minutes for the second game, 62 for the first. It took them plenty of time. Playing Ducks fought their hardest, but G2 make it into the semifinals.
4-0-14 for Ocelot.
Yeah.
There's a reason we call it Ocelot's team all the time.
Yep.
Not only is he the owner of the team, he comes up big a lot of the time from the mid lane. That Rise play, a little bit of a throwback
Yeah.
to his old days too.
And it's one of the champions that has kind of shown back up in the pools, though, which is fun. I like to see him kind of back in there. It's a new dynamic to the mid lane as well, different things to look for. And yeah, it worked. Like, honestly, the counter pick worked out. He won the lane. His team won all of their lanes as well. Top lane was up 10 to 20 CS. The bottom lane as well, just so much better played by Rydell and Yuki. Like, that was the big one, is more so than game 1, where game 1 was pretty close in lanes. It was all about their dragon plays and whatnot. It was like, right here, Gamers2 just kept steadily getting more and more advantages.
Every lane.
Every single one of them.
Just all across the board, higher CS, higher presence, was able to take map objectives, and they got out of team fights with more HP every time.
Yeah, and so every single time it was like, you might get a pick once in a while if you're playing Ducks. You might get a team fight with 2 kills, but it wasn't a clean enough fight. It wasn't the ability to grab any more global gold, so there was never really any threat for G2. It was never on their side of the map. There's no risk to, like, many turrets go down from them, and they got to play a consistent game that closed it out.
Yeah, and they really just dictated the style of that game. They said, we're going to go very tanky.
Yeah.
You can see it in Morden's build when he went Warmog, Sunfire, just complete durability. And then Rydell, even at the very end where he got the hook and went for a Rydell himself all the way to the Nexus, he's still barely he's like, I'm so tanky, everybody's focusing me, I'm still going to get out alive.
Yeah, and it was wonderful play by these guys. So very big congrats go to Gamers2. With that victory, of course, Gamers2 have set the final semifinal matchup. Next Thursday, July 24th, H2K Gaming will face off against SK Gaming Prime in a best-of-3 matchup.
And then on Friday, July 25th, it's Gamers2 going up against Ninjas in Pajamas for a rematch.
But before then, the Week 9 North American LCS gets underway tomorrow with 4 big games. Team Curse and Dignitas lead off the day, and then Evil Geniuses go up against Counter Logic Gaming.
Then it's Team Solo Mid against LMQ and Cloud9 versus Complexity. Afterward, the NA Challenger quarterfinals continue as Curse Academy faces Wasabi Gaming. It all starts at 9 p.m. Central European Summer Time, noon Pacific Daylight Time.
So with that, we reach the end of our time together tonight. But before we go, I want to say thanks again to our friends at Coca-Cola. Now for myself, Zyrene, and the entire live broadcast crew, thanks for watching, good night, and GG. Shield comes out, he's running, he's 1 hit from dead. They actually claim Rydell, but here comes JWoww, finds the kill. Shantou is also going to go down, though.
It's 3 members of Gamers2.
Yeah, it's a 3v5, and they were forced to run away from this one. Yuki may be overextended, though, flashes back over. Here comes JWoww, here comes Ocelot. 2 kills picked up so far. They go for the engage on the Ocelot. They go hard as they possibly can. The knockback on the back line, but Yuki is safe to deal all the damage he wants. As they go in, they find Shantou, he's got to get away. But Rydell goes in under the Nexus turrets, but he's going to stay alive for this one. The knockback is there, but by the way, Avenue died the whole time, and Killzone is coming through now. 3 already for playing Ducks.
Yo, man, look at me, man. I got all the jewels. Look at my shoes, man. I'm sharp. Man, I look good. I look good. I look exactly the way you wish you could. I look good. I look good. Come on. I'm in love with a girl that I call old school. Sipping on my brandy, I'm feeling brand new. Got the feather in my hand because I'm just that cool. You peeping at my alligators bent kinda slew. They peeping at me pimping cause I got all the game. And even if the day changed, it's all the same. You rolling up the block, but you in the wrong lane. You hating on a brother, man, you must be insane. I look good. I look good. I look exactly the way you wish you could. I look good. I look good. Come on. I look good, I look good, I look exactly the way you wish you could. I look good, I look good.